Welcome. I am Pegasus. I go by Pegasus, I'm Riley. And this is a new podcast. Woo! It's a podcast. I'm doing it, somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm recording it. Because I've heard the best way to do it is just start. So now I'm recording it. Okay, so what we're going to do here, it's going to be a Sonic podcast. The Way Past Cool podcast is what we're going to call it here. It's just me, but I want to rotate guest hosts here. What we're going to do here on this podcast, I'll give a shout out to the people who made me want to do this. The people over at the podcast Morphin Grid, they paused the recording, they go to an episode of Power Rangers to talk about it, so it inspired me to do a thing where I'm going to pause the recording, watch an episode of a Sonic cartoon, starting with Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, going all the way up to Sonic Boom. So we're going to pause the recording, watch an episode of Sonic cartoon, and I'm going to talk about it and give my thoughts on it. Unlike them, I'm not going to take notes. I'm just going to go totally on memory, like what I remember. I'll try to, analyze it with a scalpel and stuff. All that jazz. But, I don't like taking notes. In class, I don't take notes. I don't take notes anywhere. What are notes? Why would you do them? Okay, so now I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to watch an episode of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's episode 1. I'm pretty sure it's called Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad. Probably should have pulled up the title. I'll do that now. Professional podcast. 100% professional podcast. Episode 1 is the Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad. Which is perfect because it's hilarious. That's the most hilarious part of the episode. Okay, now I'm going to stop the recording, go watch Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad, and then I'll be back to talk about it. Woo!
I'm waiting!
Okay, I am back. I just watched Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad. Then I recorded the first 10 minutes of this podcast. And then I lost it because apparently I can't record with my screen off, which is actually retarded. Anyway, so now that I've watched Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad, I'm going to talk about it. Gonna talk about what happened. As this is the first episode, we'll be talking about the opening theme, but I'll say that for the end, because I want the introductions to come for the characters from the episode, whatever. Anyway, so we open the episode with Sonic, nice sexy ass shot of Sonic the Hedgehog. He's running around. Sorry if it cut off when I was saying the Hedgehog. I kind of accidentally clicked mic on another app, and it fucked the recording up. So yeah, nice sexy ass shot of Sonic running around at the speed of fast. And he is soon joined by his buddy Tails. He's running down a mountain thing. He's joined by his buddy Tails. He's like, yo, what's up, Sonic? And then Sonic instantly, Sonic spins and basically runs away from Tails. He's like, see you later, Tails! He runs away from Tails. Then, so he runs down this path. The path, blazes behind him, not on fire, but the path literally, lifts up behind it. It's weird. It's really weird. Anyway, so after that, Sonic and Tails arrive at this place where they are greeted by this guy. Not this guy, this freaking two robots. One's a chicken, one's a weird, wheelie one. Those two robots are named Scratch and Grounder. Scratch is a anthropomorphic chicken bot, and he laughs weird. Well, Grounder is an enemy from Sonic 2 Recolored. Weird and stupid. So they activate a trap, and it catches Sonic and Tails, and they're like, yeah, the chase is over, we caught Sonic! Yeah, and they start dancing and stuff, and they're gonna turn him into Dr. Robotnik, but Sonic is like, no, guys, we mean too much to each other, don't you know? And they're like, I thought we were enemies, Sonic. What? Why do we mean so much to each other? And he's like, don't you remember when we first met? And Grounder's just like, nope. So Sonic goes into the story. It's like, it all started before you were born. Sonic and Tails, they go to the flashback where Sonic and Tails are anywhere in town. Tails is like, where is everyone, Sonic? And then the woman pops out of the window and is like, yo, dudes. No, that'd be stupid. We're not that hip, crazy 90s yet. So the crazy woman, hiding from bounty hunters, yet she comes out of her window to scream at the top of the lungs of Tails, we're hiding! And if you had any sense, you'd hide too! So, yeah. Strange. So Sonic and Tails... No, not Sonic and Tails. Some weird, flamboyant hippo with a mohawk shows up. He rips the front off of one of the houses. There's a woman hiding behind a chair, and he's like, do you know where to get to the bounty hunter convention? And she just hides and screams. And he's like, people aren't very nice around here. I guess I'll just have to find it myself. Then he breaks the wall and walks away through the hole he made. Like, if you're just gonna ask for directions, he just knock on the door, maybe walk in the door if he was being forceful. But no, he doesn't smash the wall, he does that after. He rips the house open. So he leaves to head to the bounty hunter convention, and Tails like, what's a bounty hunter convention, Sonic? And Sonic is like, it's a party for bad guys, Tails, and I'm gonna crash it. Tails doesn't really come. He kind of hides, I guess. Sonic walks in to the bounty hunter convention to Robotnik giving a speech to a bunch of Robot Master rejects, a bunch of Mega Man rejects. And he's talking about Sonic. He's like, yo. And Sonic walks in, sits in the audience, nobody notices. Since the beginning of my conquest or whatever, there's been one meddler, one teenager, meanie, I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog. Everybody's like, including Sonic as a joke, everybody's like, boo! Boo! And he's like, and Robotnik's like, you took the words right out of my mouth! I hate that hedgehog! And as he says, like, I hate that hedgehog, his teeth break, but his teeth said hate on them. Like, there's a lot of weird imagery with Dr. Robotnik. Like, as he's giving his speech, he's saying all the bad things that Sonic does, well, the good things Sonic does that he considers bad. He's like, after he says, he helps nice people, his head, like, opens, and there's a flag that says boo. Everybody boos, like usual. Boo! Boo! And then Robotnik's like, okay, to anybody who catches Sonic, get a shit ton of money, 1 million Mobiums. So, Sonic gets 1 billion Mobiums, and Sonic's like, yo, I got a question? And Robotnik is like, what is it? And I'm like, Sonic is like, I'm worth way more than that. So then, finally, Robotnik realizes that Sonic is in the audience, and he freaks out, and he's like, get that hedgehog! So they go hedgehog hunting, all these incompetent robots. Sonic messes with them for a few seconds, and during that messing, one of the weirdest things ever happened. Just like, he walks up to one of the robots, he's like, I'm over there, points like the other way, and he went away, and the robot's like actually like questioning it, like, what the fuck? And then the other robots charge Sonic and trample this robot in the process. Sonic runs away, but Tails is like, yo, Sonic, why are you going so slow, man? And Sonic's like, And Sonic first is like, I can't talk. Sonic first is like, makes you sick, doesn't it? And he's like, but I gotta make sure they're following me. So, Sonic and Tails go, the Robos give chase, and then Sonic goes on a killing spree. Sonic, at first he does his first time with his shtick for this show, sort of a Bugs Bunny type costume shtick, gets in like a entertainer top hat, I don't know what to call it, but he has like a circus tent, and he's like, come on in all to the best show in Mobius, and remember, bounty hunters get in free! So these Robo bounty hunters are like, oh boy! And they run in the tent, and they run off a cliff, and Sonic yells down like, I guess you won't be staying for a second show! So yeah. Then he deals with them. I think he deals with a couple others in a way that I don't remember. And then he proceeds to hand, like, two robots, like, ropes. And he's like, don't let go! And then he runs away, and he's pulling these robots. These robots don't let go, because apparently these robots have a glitch in their system where they have to listen to Sonic. Like, the guy who's like, I'm over there, has to, like, process. And these guys actually don't let go. And then he runs them into a mountain. And as he looks upon the dead, cold parts of the robots he just murdered, he's just like, I have fun, don't I? So, yeah, so that's it. He's done... Wait, no. There's Robo-Man. There's not Robo-Man. Why did I call him Robo-Man? It's the least thing he is. The flamboyant rhino hippo with a mohawk is coming after Sonic. And Sonic is suddenly in like a Link costume? I don't know what else to call it. Like it's like a tunic, I guess it's called, I've heard. What Link wears in Legend of Zelda... Yeah, so he wears what Link wears in Legend of Zelda, puts an apple on his head, and he's like, you ever play William Tell? You know, that stupid game where you try to knock the apple off the person's head. So, he throws his club. I think he's actually trying to play William Tell. Like, why? Just kill Sonic. So, he hits the apple and splits it in half, and he also hits the tree, which falls and kills him. Well, presumably kills him. I don't think a kid's show actually intended for him to die. So, after that's done, he runs to Tails with the apple, gives him half the apple, and they're all happy and stuff. But Robotnik, he ain't happy. He's upset. He's like, oh my god, Sonic ruins my plans. No matter, though, my super special plan will stop him. It will stop Sonic. This podcast is gonna end up unlistenable. So, Robotnik, he just starts throwing a bunch of trash into his Robomatic. It's like, they're gonna be strong, and throws in a bunch of dumbbells. They're gonna be courageous, and throws in a stuffed lion. He's like, they're gonna be rotten like me. This is the weirdest one, where he cracks open an egg, and a bunch of trash and sludge comes out of the egg. It's weird. So and that weird, rotten trash egg. And then he's like, but unlike the other robots, these ones are gonna be brilliant. And he just throws a bunch of textbooks in there. You'll see how that works out. It doesn't. So he runs the Robomatic, and out comes Scratch, as mentioned before, the chicken robot. And he's like, where am I? Why am I here? Who am I? Are you my mother? And then just, like, kisses Robotnik. And Robotnik's just like, no! Even though, I guess he technically is his mother? His father? But he starts walking. Robotnik starts, like, stomping all weird, and Scratch follows him, and Robotnik briefs him on his life. He's like, you are part of my new special supersonic No, it's Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad. Yeah, that's an actual thing. The Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad, or the SSSSSS. So, there's even like a logo on Dr. Robotnik's Law. Like, he is all in on the SSSSSS. Like, this man, he got SSSSS painted on his wall. He's probably got it like tattooed on his left ass cheek. This man is all in on the SSSSS. So he's like, okay, to make you double as efficient, I'm gonna clone you. And Scratch, being a freaking baby, is like, yo, clone him, what's that? Sounds scary! And he, like, retracts his head into his body. And then Robotnik's like, maybe I made you too chicken. So he's like, oh, it won't hurt. Then he pulls his tail feather off. It hurts immensely. And he's like, I'll just drop your tail feather in the Robomatic. It'll make a complete clone. Because, that's how that works. So, he pulls 3 of the 4 levers that are there. Levers. I call them levers, but he calls them levers, so I'll call them levers. He pulls 3 levers out of the 4. And Scratch looks at the 4th lever and is like, yo, Dr. R, forgot to pull that one. So, he pulls that one. This is another weird one. Dr. Robotnik becomes like a train whistle now, with like smoke coming out of him as he talks. What a weird imagery with Dr. Robotnik. It's just weird. He's like, I didn't forget to pull that lever. I didn't forget to pull that lever. I wasn't supposed to pull that lever. And Scratch is like, how was I supposed to know? I was detached. Because, you get it, he's a chicken. So, the Robomatic starts running, and as Dr. Robotnik is about to smash Scratch with an absurdly large bat after working so hard on the Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad, out comes Grounder, who's supposed to be his identical twin, but he realizes that Dr. Robotnik realizes that 4th lever must have caused some modifications, but he's like, it's fine, it still works. So, Scratch and Grounder, a Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad, they don't really get along very much, to the point where Dr. Robotnik has to throw a table at them to get them to stop arguing. It's ridiculous. Like, he really wants to destroy these robots that he just made. They haven't even had a chance to fail him yet. So, he sends out Scratch and Grounder to deal with Sonic, but then a monkey robot, Coconuts, the random enemy from Sonic 2 is a character here, like a full fleshed out character. I wouldn't say fleshed out. Anyway, so Coconuts comes out, he's like, Dr. Robotnik demoted me to janitor or sanitation duty or whatever, and these Scratch and Grounder guys, they took my job. They stole our jibs. They took my job. I'm gonna stop Sonic myself. Prove Dr. Robotnik I'm the best in the whole land. So yeah, Coconut sets out to defeat Sonic, and to be honest, he is much more competent than Robotnik, Scratch, or Grounder. Because he has a chili dog stand. He makes a chili dog stand, a fake chili dog stand. And Sonic's like, this is my kind of pit stop. Come on, Tails. And they go to the chili dog stand. And Sonic's like, 2 chili dogs, please. And then he says the best line ever, and he makes the dumbest face ever. I'm waiting. So Sonic is waiting, and he's like, come on, I'm growing a beard out here. And then Coconuts unmasks himself. He was wearing like an old man disguise, and he's like, you munched your last chili dog yesterday, Hedgehog. I feel kind of bad for Sonic. Like, I feel like he could have given him, like, a last meal. He thought he was gonna kill Sonic. He had dogs, and he had chili. Could have given him a nice chili dog. Anyway, she's like, you munched your last chili dog yesterday. He pulls levers all over the place. And he turns into the hot dog stand just turns into a giant hot dog robo of death. Hot dog Megazord. So, Coconut's in his hot dog Megazord starts chasing Sonic. This hot dog Megazord is much more effective than things that Robotnik has made. Like, this thing has cannons coming out everywhere. So they avoid the hot dog thing as Coconuts commands it. Sonic's able to, like, twist the cannons into the thing, and as Coconut hits the shoot button, he obviously realizes he's gonna blow himself up, and he puts his fingers in his mouth, like, oh no. And then the hot dog droid explodes, hot dog Megazord is no more. And I guess Coconut flees? I don't know what he does. But then Tails is like, okay, I want some real chili dogs now. And Sonic's like, you got it! And then they go find chili dog stand. And then we cut to Scratch and Grounder, who are trying their first couple of plans to stop Sonic. First, they've got the classic brick wall plan where you plan to paint a landscape in the brick wall, try to get him to bump into it. But of course, they don't do that. They have like a string that holds up the brick wall, and they're gonna drop it on him. So why paint the landscape on it? So anyway, Sonic runs. He runs as usual. That's what he does. He runs near them. No. I'm forgetting about the best part. Grounder has to get Sonic. So he inflates his hands into a pumpkin and throws that pumpkin at Sonic, which wakes him up from his nap. And he's like, come and get me! And so Sonic chases Grounder, and then Grounder leads him, and Scratch is pulling down the brick wall, but it doesn't come down. And he's like, what's going on? And then Sonic's like, having trouble? Here, let me help ya. And then he drops the wall, Grounder smashes into the wall, and then they're all smashed. She's all smashed into robot parts. And Sonic's like, if I can help like this again, let me know. See you later. Sonic leaves. Sonic leaves, and Grounder gets mad. He's like, yo, tell me it's my plan. So Grounder's plan is to... Grounder's plan involves him inflating his hand again. No, it's Scratch this time. Scratch and Grounder seem to have the strange ability to turn their hands into things. Weird things. So Scratch turns his hand into a female hedgehog. Sonic runs by and he's like, wait a second. Hot female. And then he's hitting on the female. And then Grounder does something. I don't know what he does. He tries to get him. Tries to get that hedgehog. He fails to get that hedgehog. I've kind of had this recording cut out for a few times, so I kind of messed up. My memory's kind of messed up with it. So anyway, the third plan is to just shoot a harpoon at Sonic. And they capture Tails. I don't know if it involved the harpoon. Kind of shaky on this part, but they somehow get Tails. And they're like, you better turn yourself in if you know what's good for ya. And then Sonic's like, fine, just don't hurt Tails. So Sonic's captured in a cage. Tails is on, like, those weird prisoner things where your hands and head are in there. It looks like if he's about to get guillotined. So, Sonic and Tails are in the cage. Grounder calls Robotnik on the phone in his chest. And he's like, yo, Scratch, or whatever. Oh no, yo, Dr. Robotnik. We got Sonic, and Robotnik yelling so loud that his mouth comes out of the phone. Of course you got Sonic! And he's like, I'll be there so you can congratulate me, like, you know, total jerk face. And Grounder's like, I hope he brings the reward money. 'Cause robots need money? Then Coconut shows up and he's like, yo, this is my capture. Ties up Scratch and Grounder. It's like, haha! Robotnik will love me now. And Sonic is like, not quite, Coconuts. Not if these two escape. Just put them in this cage. The key's right there. So Coconut's like, yeah, good thinking. So he opens the cage. Put Scratch and Grounder in there. Sonic runs out, kicks Coconuts in there, and then he gets Robotnik. Here's what he does. So, he causes a dust storm, then he convinces Grounder that he needs to, in another disguise, that he needs to mess with his phone. So, he goes to the robophone, calls Dr. Robotnik, is like, yo, Air Patrol, come in. And Dr. Robotnik's like, I'm stuck in a dust cloud. And yeah, so Dr. Robotnik's stuck in a dust cloud, he's like, I'll guard you down. Do you see the red light? Then he opens up the cloud. Both the red light and Tails are clearly visible, but he only sees the red light. He's like, yes, I see the red light. And Sonic's like, you're 3 feet from the ground. Cut your engines. And he's obviously higher than 3 feet from the ground. He plummets, and he smashes the cave and Scratch, Grounder, and Coconuts. But he doesn't notice the strewn parts of Scratch and Grounder as he tries to call Grounder. Just kind of funny. Dead Scratch and Grounder are strewn around them. So then Sonic ends a little flashback, and he's like, that's how we first met. And Scratch is like, I don't like that story, because we don't catch you. And then Grounder's crying, he's endeared in the story, he's like, why can't they have happy endings? So Sonic then is like, this one has a real happy ending. Then just Sonic spins him and Tails out. That whole story was completely unnecessary, just Sonic prolonging his assiness as long as possible. So he escapes. Scratch and Grounder are sad. And we cut to the Sonic Says segment of this episode. This is kind of fun. It's going to be the fun part of doing Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, because every episode, Sonic gives a little PSA at the end. This time it's about calling 911. And Sonic and Tails are surrounded by Scratch, Grounder, and Coconuts. And Tails is like, we're surrounded! Call 911! And Sonic's like, this is nothing. You only call 911 in real emergencies. And he's like, if someone really needs help, they'll be in trouble. So don't play dumb pranks, kids. No, I get what they're trying to do. But are they saying that if you're surrounded by 3 high-tech death robots, you shouldn't call 911? 'Cause, there's no guarantee Sonic's could come save you. So 3 death robots surround you. Maybe call the police? That's my Pegasus says. Right there. So yeah, maybe call the police if 3 death robots surround you. So that was Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad. The first episode of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. The first episode of the first ever Sonic cartoon. And it's pretty solid. It got me into the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. What I see from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I rewatched a couple other episodes recently too, is it's kind of like a combination of Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote and Bugs Bunny. Scratch, Grounder, and Robotnik are kind of all the Coyote at the same time, and Coconuts, I guess. And Sonic's a combination between Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner, because runs super fast like Roadrunner, but he's super clever and uses disguises and crap, like Bugs Bunny. And he has Tails, just the sidekick. Now, let's talk about what I think about the characters, and I think for the first episode, they're pretty dang strong. I like Sonic, he's cocky, he's got attitude, he's all cool. Scratch and Grounder, I love their idiocy. I love their arguing. They're just great characters. Just funny. Dr. Robotnik, though the weird imagery with him is kind of creepy, I like him. I really do. Tails is just kind of weak, kind of meh. Because, he's just a little psychic fox. Sidekick fox. He can't do psychic things. So yeah, that's what I thought about Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the first episode. Go give a quick overview of the theme song. The clock is ticking up, and then it wakes Sonic up in his hammock. Him and Tails go running across a weird slide. They get pursued by Robotnik, Scratch, Grounder, who proceed to chase them through some weird special zone. I don't know what it is. There's a whack-a-mole with Sonic and Tails, where they're trying to smack Sonic and Tails. And when they find a hole that Sonic's in, Scratch is like, okay, I got this. And then he plunges tries to plunge Sonic out, like, freaking clogged toilet, but he accidentally plunges Robotnik out, who, like, knocks him across the world. He gets knocked into a mountain, and all rocks fall so that it says Sonic. That's the weird thing about this intro. Like, Sonic does a lot of Sonics. There's a lot of crazy things he does to, like, make Sonic a thing. Like, he grows a plant that's Sonic, he drops a dynamite that's Sonic. It's weird. So then eventually, at the end, he smashes Scratch Grounder and Coconuts, forms them into his name on a billboard, and then just splashes paint on them. It's so terrible, like, so demented, and then he just goes into the O with Tails and gives a thumbs up, all happy and cool. And that's the Sonic the Hedgehog opening theme, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog is the next cartoon. So yeah, that was Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, first episode. I'm really glad to start this podcast. This first episode is probably going to be major trash. Hopefully when I get more hosts, more guest hosts on different episodes, it'll be less boring, and maybe I'll stop messing up as much, and not mess up the recording, and have to take, like, 6 different takes. Not 6 different takes of the entire episode, but, like, this is, like, gonna be, like, 6 takes plus spliced together. Okay, so that was the first episode of Way Past Cool Podcast. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.